The first character area we will look at today is Skyline in the northern segment of the study area. Community members outlined pedestrian infrastructure and open space as the most critical priorities in this area, as well as connectivity to retail. In Motion, Metro's transit plan envisions a future transit hub in this location that would offer convenient transportation for commuters and visitors as population density grows in this area over time. The concept for the Skyline design scenario is a regional center that serves the daily needs of local residents with transit to and from work, retail such as groceries and pharmacies, and recreational amenities like a park overlooking downtown. The phasing examines how this transportation could potentially take place on the site. So in phase 1, maybe the next 5 to 7 years, we imagine that as development pops up along Dickerson, additional mixed-use retail space could occur at the top of the hill, creating a framework for a more pedestrian-friendly center and an axis that connects to the residential development to the north. In the second phase, maybe the next 8 to 14 years, we looked at how the transit hub could work on the site and aligning that with infill that forms a connecting axis to Dickerson. And in phase 3, we imagined what complete build-out could look like, including a park overlooking downtown. To wrap up Skyline, this design scenario complements already approved plans for the area, including an existing PUD that we use as a framework for phase 1 development, In Motion, the transit plan that calls for a regional bus rapid transit hub on this site, and Plan to Play, which recognizes the need for greenway and parks in this area. Ewing Broadmoor, located between Briley Parkway and Hart Lane, comprises the central segment of our study area. Our community survey noted pedestrian safety, flooding, drainage issues, and blight along Ewing Creek, and lack of green space as priorities for this area. The heart of this study area is the intersection of Dickerson Pike with Ewing and Broadmoor Drives. The design scenario focuses on this intersection and envisions an evolution from a blighted crossing into a vibrant neighborhood node. Foundational to this scenario are two components: the restoration of Ewing Creek that's currently piped underneath the SunTrust Bank site in Dickerson Pike, and the transformation to a more pedestrian-oriented circulation pattern. Like Skyline, the phasing exercise for Ewing Broadmoor envisions how the design scenario could potentially develop over time. For phase 1, the intersection is reinforced with new mixed-use structures in the next 0 to 7 years, creating a framework for a more pedestrian-scale development. In phase 2, the renovation of the H.G. Hill site includes the daylighting of Ewing Creek and an associated park in the stream buffer. And lastly, in phase 3, the addition of townhomes and small-scale multifamily development in the southeast quadrant could provide greater density, diversity of housing, and viability for commercial uses. The design scenario for Ewing Broadmoor complements the recommendations of several existing plans, including Metro's LID manual that incentivizes green infrastructure projects linked to urban design. I'll conclude by describing Pages Branch, the southernmost section of our study area, from Hart Lane to Pages Branch just north of Trinity Lane. Pages Branch is currently characterized by smaller parcels fronting the corridor, including several tire and auto body shops. Our community engagement noted many of the same issues as Ewing Broadmoor, including lack of pedestrian safety and flooding and draining issues. Although we didn't go through a design scenario process for Pages Branch, recommendations for it are included throughout the plan, including improvements for mobility and beautification, addressing housing affordability, and you'll hear about all of those from my colleagues in other videos. And with that, I'll thank you for listening in today, and we look forward to your feedback and questions on the Dickerson North study. Thank you.